Do you know what time it is? I said, do you know what time it is? It is time for some Dehanis Cowgirl softball! The playoff begins now! Yay!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here live from Three Rivers High School for today's regional semifinal playoff game between the Benavides Eagles and your Dehanis Cowgirls. I'd like to welcome everyone here watching live on Dehanis Athletics here on Facebook. You can also watch on YouTube. Once again, it's today's Region 4 regional semifinal playoff game between the Benavides Eagles and your Dehanis Cowgirls. Benavides Eagles representing District 32A, coming in with a record of 8-4, and your Dehanis Cowgirls representing District 31A, coming in with a record of 13-7-1. As you can see, the bracket on the left-hand side, winner advances to the regional finals to face the winner of Bartlett and North Zolch, which those two teams are facing each other tonight. I'd like to introduce both teams for you. First, the visiting Benavides Eagles under head coach Albany Ramirez, assistant coach Jacob Pena, manager Melody Perez, superintendent Dr. Marisa Chapa, and athletic director Marcos Zubia. Number 1, freshman Sadie Vieira. Number 3, freshman Miranda Arredondo. Sophomore number 4, Haley Cervantes. Senior number 5, Stephanie Cavazos. Senior number 6, Allison Vasquez. Freshman number 8, Kristen Garza. Sophomore number 11, Allison Guerra. Senior number 12, Ed Garcia. Junior number 15, Dana Marquez. Junior number 16, Mercy Davila. Junior number 22, Camila Gracia. And senior number 25, Giovanna Guzman. And now introducing your Dehanis Cowgirls under head coach Jose Martinez. Assistant coach Fred McCullum, managers Kelly Self, Brianna Slaughter. Superintendent Brian Thompson, Principal Kurt Schumacher, and Athletic Director Todd Kraft. Number 1, freshman Alicia Garcia. Sophomore number 2, Mabry Herman. Sophomore number 3, Jolie Frosch. Senior number 4, Natalie McFadden. Freshman number 5, Kayla Looper. Freshman number 8, Peyton Burrow. Senior number 9, Maddie Rhodes. Junior number 10, Addie Harkins. Sophomore number 13, Brighton Beard. Freshman number 15, Madison Rodriguez. Junior number 16, Tony Burrow. Junior number 20, Reese Redden. Sophomore number 22, Tori Johnson. Sophomore number 27, Kelly Luis. And junior number 29, Marissa Santos. Once again, we're here live from Three Rivers High School for today's regional semifinal playoff game between the Benavides Eagles and your Dehanis Cowgirls. I'd like to thank Three Rivers High School, Benavides Independent School District, and Dehanis Independent School District for allowing us to bring you today's game live here from Three Rivers. Once again, the winner will advance to the regional finals to face the winner of Bartlett and North Zolch. Both teams are facing each other tonight. And at 7 o'clock, right across us here in the next field, you'll also have Dehanis Cowboy Baseball. So we're going to experiment a little bit. We're going to try to do a picture-in-picture when it comes to 7 o'clock. And we're going to do our best and hope it works. And if it doesn't work, as soon as this game's over, we'll hop over to the baseball side. Once again, we're here live from Three Rivers High School for the regional semifinal playoff game between the Benavides Eagles and your Dehanis Cowgirls. You're watching Dehanis Cowgirls softball. We'll be right back.
Do you know what time it is? I said, do you know what time it is? It is time for some Dehanis Cowgirl softball! The playoff begins now! Yay!
You're watching live coverage on the Dehanis Athletics page, home of the Cowboys and Cowgirls. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for the most up-to-date and late-breaking information. And go Cowboys and Cowgirls! You're watching live coverage on the D'Hanis Athletics page, home of the Cowboys and Cowgirls. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for the most up-to-date and late-breaking information. And go Cowboys and Cowgirls!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back here live at Three Rivers High School once again for today's regional semifinal playoff game between the Benavides Eagles and your D'Hanis Cowgirls. D'Hanis defeated San Perlita 10-0 in the bi-district round and advanced to the regional quarterfinals and defeated Moulton in best of 3 series 2-0, 16-0 and 21-5. And that leads them here in the regional semifinals as they face Benavides. The Benavides got here by defeating Runge and Canepa. Coaches meeting at the plate, having conversation with the umpire as they will do introductions of both teams. And as soon as they do, we'll let y'all take a listen in. Once again, we'd like to thank Three Rivers High School for hosting us once again, as the Cowgirls were here in the bi-district round as they defeated San Perlita. And last week, as they traveled to Seguin, they defeated Moulton. And here we are again today, regional semifinals, D'Hanis versus Benavides. Benavides representing District 32A, coming in with a record of 8-4. D'Hanis Cowgirls representing District 31A, coming with a record of 13-7-1. Good crowd here in attendance for D'Hanis and Benavides, as it looks like everyone made their way to Three Rivers to support both of their teams. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're here live from Three Rivers High School, getting ready to start the regional semifinal playoff game between the Benavides Eagles and your D'Hanis Cowgirls. I'd like to thank everyone watching at 90's Taco Store.
Good evening.
And they're going to go ahead and introduce both teams. We're going to let y'all take a listen in.
And tonight's home team, the Benavides Lady Eagles. This game is being conducted according to the rules and regulations of the University Interscholastic League. Regardless of the outcome of tonight's game, all of the players have proven their willingness to work and sacrifice in order to achieve athletic excellence. Please consider the time and effort each of these teams, coaches, and athletes have put forth. Cheer these young athletes on, applaud them, but do not, through any actions, cause them to doubt the value of athletics. By your conduct, allow these athletes to feel pride in their communities and schools. While your sportsmanlike actions may play only a small part in the outcome of this game, it will play a greater role in continuing to encourage competitive athletics. The officials for this game have been mutually agreed upon by the school officials for both schools. Their role is not unlike those of players, coaches, teachers, and school administrators. Without them, this game would not be possible. Their knowledge and application of the rules are a result of annual testing, years of study, and continual participation in clinics that further refine their understanding of the game. We ask you, as students, parents, and citizens, to demonstrate the kind of respect for these officials you would extend to any dedicated person in a position of responsibility. Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce to you tonight's visiting team, the D'Hanis Cowgirls. Leading off tonight, number 5, Kayla Luker. Number 2, Mabry Herman, shortstop. Number 29, Marissa Santos. Again, the circle tonight. Number 20, Reese Redden, taking care of Tony Burrell, taking care of the DP spot. Number 27, Taylor Reese, in right field. Number 8, Peyton Burrell, taking care of center. And number 10, the flex, Addie Harkins, taking care of left field. Coming out of the dugout tonight for the Lady Cowgirls, number 1, Alicia Garcia. Number 13, Brighton Berry. Number 15, Maddie Rodriguez. And number 22, Tori Johnson. The Dehanas Cowgirls, under the direction of head coach Jose Martinez and assistant Fred Malcolm. Now, to introduce to you tonight's home team, Benavides Lady Eagles. Starting lineup, number 5, Stephanie Cavazos at short. Number 1, Sadie Vera playing second. Number 25, Giovanna Guzman in the circle. Number 11, Allison Guetta taking care of third. Number 6, Allison Vasquez playing first. Number 8, Kristen Garza behind the plate catching. Number 22, Camila Gracia in center. Number 4, Billy Cervantes in left. Number 16, Mercy Davila with the DP tonight. Number 3, Miranda Arredondo in the flex position playing right field. Coming out of the dugout tonight for the Lady Eagles, number 15, Tanya Marquez, and number 12, Ed Garcia. The Benavides Lady Eagles head coach, Avery Ramirez. If you'll all please stand for the playing of our national anthem.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, ready to get started here. Once again, the regional semifinal playoff game between the Benavides Eagles and your Dehennis Cowgirls. I'd like to thank everybody watching here live on Dehennis Athletics on Facebook, also on YouTube. Dehennis Cowgirls, the designated visiting team for this game today. In the circle for the Eagles will be the senior number 25, Giovanna Guzman. Behind the plate, number 3, Miranda Arredondo. At third base, number 11, Allison Guerra. At shortstop, number 5, Stephanie Cavazos. At second base, number 1, Sadie Vieira. At first base is number 6, Allison Vasquez. And once that outfield gets set, I'll be able to see their numbers. Leading off to start the ball game for the Cowgirls is the catcher, number 5, freshman Kayla Looper.
Number 5, your catcher, Kayla Looper.
Kayla had a great game last series versus Moulton. First pitch is hit and caught by the shortstop for the first out of the inning. As Kayla Looper has sent a nice shot to the shortstop, number 5, Stephanie Cavazos, made a great catch. Brings up the shortstop, number 2, Mabry Herman. The pitch from Guzman is ball high. 1 ball, no strikes on Herman. The pitch from Guzman is outside. 2-0, 2 balls, no strikes on the shortstop, Mabry Herman. The pitch, high and outside, 3-0. Giovanna Guzman in the circle for the Eagles. Mabry Herman at the plate for the Cowgirls. Wind up in the pitch, high and outside, ball 4, so Herman's going to take her base as she makes her way towards first. She gets on with the walk, brings up the pitcher, number 29, Marissa Santos. Wind up the pitch, Santos shows bunt, and it's going to be low and inside, and Herman's going to make her way towards second base. Wind up in the pitch, Santos pops it up, and the pitcher, Guzman's going to make the catch for the second out. So 2 outs here. Brings up the first baseman, number 20, Reese Redden. With Mabry Herman standing on second for the Cowgirls. The pitch, called strike. No balls, 1 strike. On the first baseman, Reese Redden. The pitch, and Redden swings, and they're going to call foul ball. She tipped it. So no balls, 2 strikes on Reese, with Herman standing on second. The 0-2 pitch is a ball way high, goes over the head of the catcher, so Herman's going to make her way towards third, standing up. So the count is now 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. And the top of the first. Cowgirls with the runner in scoring position. The pitch, Redden fouls it. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Herman standing on third. Redden at the plate. Guzman in the circle for the Eagles. On deck for the Cowgirls, Natalie McFadden. The pitch is high and outside. Brings the count to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Once again, Herman standing on third. 2-2 on Redden. 2 outs. Guzman with the pitch and fouled off as Redden hangs in there and battles back. So 2 balls, 2 strikes on the junior first baseman, Reese Redden. The pitch low and in the turf, so brings the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Count's going to go full, 3-2.
Once again, 3 balls, 2 strikes on Redden. Herman standing on third. The wind up in the pitch, in the dirt, ball 4. Herman's going to go ahead and come in and score. So the Cowgirls get on the board first. And Reese on the walk advances to first. And on the pass ball, Herman comes in to score. First run for the Cowgirls. Brings up the senior number 4, Natalie McFadden. The pitch. McFadden sends a shot past the shortstop. And it's going to be a single for Natalie McFadden. Cowgirls with runners on first and second. Brings up the second baseman, number 3, Jolie Frosch. So Redden standing on second. McFadden on first with a nice single to left field. Got past the shortstop. And Frosch at the plate for the Cowgirls. The pitch from Guzman is ball high. One ball, no strikes. The pitch from Guzman, ball high. 2-0, 2 balls, no strikes on Frosch. Redden on second, McFadden on first. Frosch at the plate. And designated player Tony Burrow on deck for the Cowgirls. The wind up with the pitch. Frosch swing and a miss for strike 1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Wind up in the pitch, ball high and outside. So 3 balls and 1 strike on Frosch. Cowgirls lead early here, 1-0 as Mabry Herman came on and scored on the pass ball. The pitch to Frosch is high and outside, so Frosch is going to take her bait. Loads up the bases for the Cowgirls. So brings up number 16, designated player Tony Burrow for the Cowgirls with the bases loaded. Cowgirls with a good opportunity here. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Redden on third, McFadden on second, Frosch on first. Tony Burrow at the plate for the Cowgirls. Guzman with the pitch, high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Burrow. Bases loaded here for Burrow. Guzman with the pitch, high and outside. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike on Tony Burrow.
Count to Burrow is 2-1.
And we're going to get a
Time on the field.
timeout called by head coach Aubrey Ramirez of Benavides. Settle down her pitcher just a bit. Once again, we're here live from Three Rivers High School for today's regional semifinal playoff game between the Benavides Eagles and your Dehenes Cowgirls. Winner advances to the regional finals versus the winner of Bartlett and North Zolch. This is game 1 of the best of 3 series. All games here at Three Rivers High School. Cowgirls will be back in action tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. and a game 3, if necessary, will follow. Then it's Cowboys coming up next at 7 p.m. versus Benavides on the field right next to us. That is also a best of 3 series. So 2 balls, 1 strike on Tony Burrow with 2 outs here. Cowgirls with a 1-0 lead. Guzman in the circle for the Eagles. The pitch. Ball low and inside. Brings it to 3 balls and 1 strike. Three balls, 1 strike. The pitch and fouled off by Burrow. Count is now full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Tony Burrow, the designated player. With bases loaded. Reese Redden on third, McFadden on second, Frosch on first, and Burrow at the plate. Guzman in the circle for the Lady Eagles. All runners will be moving on the pitch. And Burrow fouls it out of play. So there's a lucky fan. Count remains full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the first year, Cowgirls with a 1-0 lead. And Burrow at the plate. The pitch, high and outside, ball 4. So Burrow's going to take her base. And Redden will come in to score for the Cowgirls. Brings up number 27, Kayler Luis, the right fielder for the Cowgirls. So the runners move over. McFadden to third, Frosch is second, Burrow on first now, and Kayler Luis at the plate. Ball high. So 1 ball, no strikes. On Ruiz with the bases loaded. The windup in the pitch for a call strike 1. Brings the count to 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch, and Ruiz showed bunt but pulls back. It's going to be a ball high, so 2 balls and 1 strike on Kayler Luis. And the umpire is going to check to see if she went. She did not go. So, once again, the count remains 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Cowgirls with the 2-0 lead here. Bases loaded for Kayler Luis, sophomore right fielder. The pitch from Guzman is ball high. So the count is 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike on Kayler Luis here. The windup and the pitch is outside, so McFadden will come in and score on the walk. And Ruiz will make her way towards first base. Brings up the center fielder, Peyton Burrow, with the bases loaded. Bases loaded. Burrow at the plate. The windup and the pitch. High and outside, ball 1. Frosch on third. Burrow on second. The pitch catches the corner inside. Strike 1. And Ruiz standing on first. Base loaded for the Cowgirls. Peyton Burrow at the plate. Cowgirls with 3 runs here in the top of the first. The windup of the pitch, and Burrow swings. Hit, fielded by the shortstop. Play at third, and they're going to call her safe as she beat the tag as the third baseman missed the base. And the coach is wanting to speak with the umpire about this. And let's see what's going to happen here. Coach Benavides discussing the call with the umpire. Umpire's going to go and ask for a little help here. But Jolie Frosch comes in and scores on the Burrow hit, fielded by the shortstop. But this would be a great opportunity. And they're going to call her safe for the Cowgirls as the bases are loaded. And coming up is the catcher, number 5, Kayla Looper. See if Kayla can do some damage here. Bases loaded for Kayla Looper. Burrow on third, Luis on second, Burrow on first. Guzman in the circle, the wind up, the pitch, and Looper fouls it. So no balls and 1 strike on Looper. Guzman with the pitch, and Looper sends a shot past the third baseman as it goes off her glove, and Burrow's going to come in and score. Luis is going to come in and score. And Burrow's going to slide in safely at third as Looper makes her way to second. As Kayla Looper gets 2 RBIs on the hit. 6-0 advantage, Cowgirls. Brings up the shortstop, number 2, Mabry Herman. With 2 outs here. And coming in the courtesy run for Kayla Looper will be number 1, Alicia Garcia. So Alicia Garcia standing on second now. Burrow on third, and Herman at the plate. Guzman with the pitch, and Herman sends a shot opposite direction to right field. It's going to drop in between the second base and the right fielder as Herman makes her way towards second for an RBI double as she brings in Burrow and Garcia. So the Cowgirls with an 8-0 advantage here. Brings up the pitcher, number 29, Marissa Santos. The wind up of the pitch from Guzman. Called strike down the middle. So no balls and 1 strike on Santos. The wind up of the pitch. Santos fouls it back. So no balls, 2 strikes on the pitcher, Marissa Santos. With 2 outs here. Herman standing on second for the Cowgirls. And the Hennis has put up 8 runs here in the top of the first. The pitch. Short. Gets by the catcher as Herman advances to third. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on Santos. With Mabry Herman standing on third. Guzman in the circle, the windup and the pitch. Santos sends a shot up the middle, fielded by and lost by the shortstop. There's an error on the shortstop. Brings in maybe Herman. So Santos brings in a run. And Santos will stand on first base. Brings up the first baseman, number 20, Reese Redden. And number 13, Brighton Beard, checks into the ballgame. The courtesy run for Santos.
Courtesy runner for your pitcher, number 13, Brighton Beard. I think we had Alicia Garcia courtesy run for our catcher a while ago, coming across the plate.
So Beard on first. Reese Redden at the plate. 2 outs here. Wind up in the pitch and fouled off. So count is now no balls and 1 strike on Redden. With 2 outs here. Top of the first. Reese Redden walked her last appearance. The pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2. Is that pitch was way outside. No balls, 2 strikes on Redden. Beard standing on first. Guzman in the circle for the Lady Eagles. The pitch, and Redden sends a shot to left field as Beard's going to make her way towards third. And she's going to be safe. And Redden standing on second base for a double. So runners on second and third for the Cowgirls. And brings up the senior, number 4, Natalie McFadden, to the plate. The windup of the pitch. McFadden sends a shot to the gap. And it's going to fall in as Beard comes in to score. And Redden will come in to score. And McFadden making her way towards third, extended for a triple. Stand-up triple for Natalie McFadden as she brings in 2 runs for the Cowgirls. Cowgirls have come out hot here. Brings up the second baseman. The second baseman, number 3, Jolie Frosch. The pitch, and Frost swings, gets off the ball, comes off the glove, off the pitcher Guzman, and underneath the legs of the shortstop as Frost brings in a run. McFadden comes in to score. Up next is designated player number 16, Tony Burrow, who walked her last at bat. So Frost on first, Burrow at the plate. Cowgirls with a 12-0 lead here. And Burrow hits at the third. And hesitation by the third baseman as Burrow is safe at first. And Frosch advances to third base. So runners on the corners for the Cowgirls. Brings up the right fielder, number 27, Kayla Luis. Once again, runners on first and third. Right fielder Kayla Luis at the plate for the Cowgirls. The pitch, Luis swings and misses for strike 1. Guzman with a pitch. Burrow takes off the second. And a pitch called strike 2. So no balls, 2 strikes. Runners on second and third. Third base Frosch, second base Burrell. And Ruiz at the plate for the Cowgirls. With 2 outs here. Guzman with the pitch. And Kaler fouls it off. Count remains 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the first. Cowgirls bats have come alive here to start the ball game. 12-0 lead for DeHennis. The pitch and misses the corner outside, so 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ruiz. The pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. As the Cowgirls leave 2 runners on. As we advance to the bottom of the first. Cowgirls with the 12-0 lead. You're watching Dennis Cowgirls Softball. We'll be right back. We're back here live from Three Rivers High School as the Cowgirls leave 2 runners on, score 12 runs in the top of the first. Coming to the bottom of the first. In the circle for the Cowgirls is this junior number 29, Marissa Santos. Behind the plate is freshman number 5, Kayla Looper. At third base is senior Natalie McFadden. Shortstop, Mabry Herman. Second base, Jolie Frosch. At first base, Reese Redden. And in the outfield from left to right, Addie Harkins, Peyton Burrow, and Kayla Ruiz for the Cowgirls. Once again, this is game 1 of the best of 3 series between the Benavides Eagles and your Dennis Cowgirls. Winner advances to the regional finals to face the winner of Bartlett and North Zolch. As that game is being played tonight, 1-game series. Leading off for the Benavides Eagles is the senior number 5, Stephanie Cavazos.
Up for Benavides, leading off number 5, Stephanie Cavazos, the shortstop tonight.
So Marissa Santos in the circle. The wind up, the pitch. She throws some heat for a strike 1. No balls, 1 strike on Cavazos. The pitch. Hit, fielded by Santos, and she's going to toss it over to Reese Redden at first base for the first out.
Hit back to the pitcher for 1-3 out. Going to bring up number 1.
So the freshman number 1, Sadie Vieira,
For Benavides.
up next to bat for the Lady Eagles. The pitch from Santos, low and inside for ball 1. Pitch and a bunt attempt by Vieira. Fouls it off. Brings the count to 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on Sadie Vieira, the freshman for the Lady Eagles. Santos on the mound for the Cowgirls. The pitch outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch from Santos, swing and a miss for strike 2.
Going to go 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Vieira. The pitch. Oh, beautiful pitch. Catches the corner inside for strike 3. So 2 outs and the first strikeout for Santos in the ballgame. Up next, number 25, Giovanna Guzman for the Lady Eagles. The pitch, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike on Guzman. The pitch from Santos, hit, fielded by, and it's going to go underneath the legs of Herman as she turned her glove around. So error at shortstop as Guzman gets on first for the Lady Eagles. Brings up number 11, Allison Guerra. The pitch from Santos, low and inside for ball 1. The pitch from Santos, right down the middle, strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike on Allison Guerra, with Guzman standing on first for the Eagles. The pitch, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Guerra, with Guzman on first for the Lady Eagles. Santos with the pitch, calls 3, strike down right down the middle. So Marissa Santos has 2 strikeouts in the first inning. And the Cowgirls lead after 1, 12-0 over the Benavides Eagles. You're watching Dana's Cowgirls softball. We'll be right back.
Do you know what time it is? I said, do you know what time it is? It is time for some Dehanis Cowgirl softball. The playoff begins now. Yay!
And welcome back to Three Rivers High School. Regional semifinal playoff game. Benavides Eagles versus your Dehanis Cowgirls. Dehanis Cowgirls come out swinging as they score 12 runs in the top of the first and hold the Eagles scoreless as we get ready to start the top of the second here. Leading off the inning will be the center fielder, number 8, Peyton Burrow, for the Cowgirls.
For Dehanis, number 8, Peyton Burrell, center fielder.
So Burrow at the plate. The wind up in the pitch. Called strike.
First pitch, strike by Guzman.
Guzman at the circle for the Lady Eagles. The wind up in the pitch. High and outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Burrow. Peyton walked her last at bat, and the ball in the dirt for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike on the center fielder, Peyton Burrow, with the catcher, Kayla Looper, on deck. And Coach Jose Martinez is going to call time, have a little conversation with the umpire at third base.
We have time on the field.
Guess everything is situated over there. So Burrow at the plate with the count of 2 balls and 1 strike. The wind up in the pitch, and Burrow fouls it. So the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, and Burrow swings and misses. Ball gets by the catcher, so Burrow's going to take off the first, and she's going to make it there in time. She's going to be safe. So the swing and a miss, and Burrow makes it safely. Brings up the catcher, number 5, Kayla Looper, with Burrow on first. The pitch, Looper shows bunt, brings it back, and Burrow's in a steal second as she stands up safely. So the count is 1 ball, no strikes. Burrow on second, Looper at the plate. Guzman in the circle for the Lady Eagles. As you can see, the Three Rivers Police in the outfield making their rounds.
1-0 count on your batter.
So 1 ball, no strikes. Looper at the plate. Wind up in the pitch in the dirt for ball 2.
Nice stop by Garza. Keep the runner honest.
2 balls, no strikes. Burrow standing on second. Wind up in the pitch. Inside for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes.
Count goes 3-0 to Looper with a runner on second.
Peyton Burrow standing on second. Kayla Looper at the plate. 3 balls, no strikes. Top of the second. Cowgirls with a 12-0 advantage here. Wind up in the pitch. And Looper sends a shot to center field. And it's going to go over the head of the center fielder as Burrow makes her way towards home to come in and score. And Looper is going to go ahead and try for the inside the park home run as Kayla Looper inside the park home run for the Cowgirls. Cowgirls now with a 14-0 lead, so inside the park home run for Kayla Looper as she brought in Peyton Burrow and brings up the shortstop number 2, Mabry Herman. The pitch low, so 1 ball, no strikes. And wind up in the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. One ball, 1 strike on Mabry Herman. The pitch, and Herman swings and misses. Strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes on Herman. No outs here. Guzman in the circle for the Eagles. Herman at the plate for the Cowgirls. The pitch, and Herman fouls it off. She stays alive with the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. No outs here. The wind up in the pitch is high and outside for ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes on Herman. The wind up in the pitch is in the dirt for ball 3. Brings the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Herman. Senior number 25, Joanna Guzman in the circle for the Eagles. Wind up in the pitch, and Herman sends a shot. Fielded by the shortstop, fires it over to first. And Herman's going to beat the throw, excuse me. She's going to be safe at first. So maybe Herman with a single, infield single. Brings up the pitcher, number 29, Marissa Santos. So Herman standing on first, Santos at the plate. Santos hits it, fielded by a third baseman. Oh, and she's going to lose it as it goes off her glove. So Herman's going to make her way towards third. And Santos is going to go ahead and make her way towards second and stand up. So maybe Herman at third, Marissa Santos at second. And coming up to the plate is the first baseman, number 20, Reese Redden. Number 13, Brighton Beard comes in and checks in for Santos at second base. And once again, head coach Aubrey Ramirez will go out and talk to her team. Coach Martinez huddles up his troops. Cowgirls with the 14-0 lead here. In the top of the second. And if you can hear in the background, Cowboys should start at approximately 7 o'clock. And after this game, we're going to do our best to bring it to you live as well. And there's going to be a pitching change for the Eagles as Joanna Guzman will move over to shortstop. And in the circle now will be the senior number 5, Stephanie Cavazos.
Good luck to both teams.
Benavides with a position change. Will be bringing Stephanie Cavazos from shortstop to the circle.
And we're going to do our best to set up a camera on the baseball field so we can try to do picture-in-picture here. So Reese Redden at the plate for the Cowgirls. So the first pitch is a ball high. So ball high to Reese Redden. And Stephanie Cavazos is now on the plate. Is in the circle now for the Eagles. The pitch, ball high. So 2 balls and no strikes on Redden. Runners on second and third. The pitch. And Redden sends a shot by a diving shortstop as Herman and Brighton Beard will come in to score. And Reese making her way towards third. She's going to stand up safely as the ball goes into the dugout. So that's going to be another run for the Cowgirls. As the ball goes out of play. So 3 runs coming in for the Cowgirls, 17-0 DeHennis, as McFadden comes up to the plate for DeHennis. Wind up with a pitch, ball inside. 1 ball, no strikes on McFadden. McFadden sends a shot to the left fielder, and she's going to make her way towards second. She's going to try to stretch it out. She's going to slide in safely. So McFadden stretches it out for a double and brings up the second baseman, number 3, Jolie Frosch.
Second baseman.
The pitch, ball high, so 1 ball, no strikes on Frosch. The pitch. McFadden's going to make her way towards third. The ball is thrown over the head of the third baseman, so McFadden's going to come in and score. Cowgirls add another run, 18-0 to Hennis. So Frosch at the plate. Count is 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch. Frosch hits it. Fielded by a third baseman. Makes the throw over to first. And Frosch is going to be safe So the designated players, number 16, Tony Burrow, at the plate for the Cowgirls. And the runner, Frosch, is going to step off the base for the first out. So Burrow at the plate. The pitch, ball high. So 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch is ball high. 2 balls, 1 strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike on Burrow. The pitch fouled off. Brings the count to 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here. Tony Burrow at the plate for the Cowgirls. Wind up in the pitch, and Burrow fouls it off. Count remains 2-2. And we're fixing to go split screen here. Cowgirls will be on the left. Cowboys game will be on the right. I'll be doing play-by-play here for the Cowgirls. And I'll get to the Cowboys as soon as I can, or in between breaks. The pitch. And Burrow swings and misses, so 2 outs. So Kaylor Louise at the plate for the Cowgirls with 2 outs here. Wind up in the pitch. Inside for ball 1.
Number 11 at second base, R.J. Salinas. Number 3 at center field, Sergio Benavides.
So 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch to Louise. Louise hits it. Fielded by the third baseman. She's going to make her way towards first, and she's going to be on safely. So single for Kaylor Louise with 2 outs here. Brings up center fielder Peyton Burrow.
And the rest of your Eagles, 00, Julian Alanis. Number 10, Daniel Elizondo. Number 15, Kevin Garcia. And number 22, Eliseo.
And they step off, so it's going to be 3 outs as we head to the bottom of the second. Cowgirls lead 18-0. We're going to take a live look in at the baseball game as they have the national anthem over there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, baseball's fixing to get started as well. We're going to go ahead and go picture in picture here. Cowgirls on the left side of the screen, Cowboys on the right side. Cowgirls currently leading the bottom of the second, 18-0 over Benavides. Cowboys fixing to get started, as the Hennis is a designated visiting team in baseball as well. As we're here providing double coverage here on the Hennis Athletics. You all can also watch live on YouTube. Currently, Cowgirls with an 18-0 lead over Benavides Lady Eagles. The Hennis Cowboys fixing to get started here. Good thing about this complex, both fields are right next to each other and has good position for cameras. I don't have a roster for the Benavides Eagles baseball team, so we're gonna go. I'm gonna do my best to let y'all listen in and watch both games. As number 6, Allison Vasquez leads off for the Lady Eagles, and you're going to see the score of the Cowgirls game. So 1 ball, no strikes. Santos on the mound, swing and a miss for strike 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike on Vasquez. And on the baseball side, they're still warming up out there. Wind up with the pitch from Santos, first called strike 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes on the batter. Two balls, 2 strikes on Vasquez. Wind up in the pitch. Hit. Fielded by Santos. She's going to fire it over to first to Redden for the out. So 1 out here for the Cowgirls. As the Cowboys, leading off for the Cowboys is number 28, our left fielder, number 28, once again, Luke Langfield for the Cowboys. And on the softball side, freshman number 8, Kristen Garza batting for the Eagles. Baseball side, the wind up in the pitch to Langfield is a called strike 1. And on the opposite field, Santos with the strike 1. So no balls and 1 strikes on both sides. Santos with the pitch, swing and fouled off, so no balls and 2 strikes on Garza. And Langfield batting for the Cowboys on your right side. Wind up in the pitch. Luke hits it. Fielded by the shortstop, and an error on the shortstop, and Langfield's going to make his way on safely at first for the Cowboys. On the softball side, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Wind up in the pitch from Santos, swing and a miss for strike 3. So 2 outs on the Cowgirls side. Up next, number 22, Camila Gracia for Benavides Eagles, Lady Eagles. And Leighton Herman batting for the Cowboys on the right side of the screen. First pitch strike from Santos on the softball side. Herman shows bunt, pulls back. Langfield's going to make his way towards second. He's going to stand up. He's going to slide in safely. So Langfield at second for the Cowboys. And a swing and a miss to head to the top of the third. Cowgirls with an 18-0 lead. We're going to go ahead and show some baseball action right now. With Langfield on second, Leighton Herman at the plate for the Cowboys. The pitch. Ball outside. And call strike on Leighton Herman with Luke Langfield standing on second for the Cowboys. The pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2 on Herman.
Taking the field for Benavides, we'll have Cowgirls in the second. Working behind the plate.
Herman with 2 strikes on him. Langfield standing at second. The pitch outside, so Leighton Herman will make his way towards first base. So runners on first and second for the Cowboys. Brings up the catcher, number 14, Ethan Reyes.
Handling left field, Hayden Cervantes. Taking care of Spencer.
And they're going to have a little conference on the mound, on the baseball side, and on the softball side. They're currently warming up. Cowgirls with an 18-0 lead over there. This is the top of the first on the baseball side, with Langfield on first and Herman on second, and Reyes at the plate. And once again, we're going to go split screen. Cowgirls game will be on the left-hand side with the scoreboard until this ball game's over. And then we'll go full-time baseball. Peyton Burrow to lead off for the Cowgirls to start the top of the third. On the baseball side, there's an error. So bases loaded for the Cowboys. And a foul ball on the softball side. So no balls and 1 strike. Bases loaded on the baseball side. Head coach Todd Kraft having a discussion with the umpire. And brings up the senior third baseman Thomas Beard at the plate for the Cowboys. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not sure what happened there. A little pause. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Ball inside. 3 balls and 1 strike on the softball side. Wind up with a pitch. Swung on. Burrow. Fielded by the pitcher. Fired over the first. For the first out on softball side. So Kayla Looper batting for the Cowgirls. Thomas Beard advancing to first for the Cowboys. And Ryan Henry at the plate for DeHennis on the baseball side. Looper hits a foul ball. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out for the Cowgirls. 18-0 lead for the DeHennis Cowgirls here on the softball side. Scoreless on the baseball side. As bases loaded for Ryan Henry on DeHennis Cowboys baseball. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and Kayla Looper on the softball side with 1 out. 2 balls, 1 strike on Kayla Looper. And now batting for the Cowboys, second baseman Eusebio Tapia. Looper fouls it out of play. Count is 2-2 on Kayla Looper. Bases loaded on the baseball side. Tapia at the plate. Tapia hits it. Fielded by the pitcher. Fires it over the first. And that's going to be the third out. As the Cowboys lead 1-0. So we're going to come back to softball. Looper at the plate for the Cowgirls. Wind up in the pitch. Ball high, so 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Kayla Looper. So ball 4, Looper's going to take her base. Brings up the shortstop, Mabry Herman. And Alicia Garcia will come in and courtesy run for Kayla Looper.
Courtesy runner for Looper, number 1, Alicia Garcia.
Cowboys are currently warming up on the field as they get ready for the bottom of the first as they lead 1-0.
Nice work by Garza.
Ball 1 on Herman. Alicia Garcia on first for the Cowgirls.
Runner on first.
And a called strike on Herman as it catches the corner. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Count 1-1.
On the mound for the Cowboys is number 18, senior Tyler Rodriguez.
Count's going to be 2-1 to Herman. With 1 out, a runner on first.
So ball 3, 3 balls and 1 strike on Mabry Herman on the softball side with Alicia Garcia standing on first. Wind up in the pitch, ball 4. So Herman's going to take her base. So Garcia will move towards second. 2 runners on for the Cowgirls.
Number 29.
Brings up the pitcher, number 29. The pitcher, number 29, Marissa Santos. Garcia on second. Herman on first. Santos at the plate. Wind up in the pitch. Santos sits a shot, gets past the third baseman as Garcia's going to come in and score. Herman will make her way towards home as well. Santos going to go to third and stand up. And she's going to go ahead and come on in as well for inside the park home run for Marissa Santos.
Shot down the left field line by Santos, bringing 3 runs across for Johannes.
So Santos brings in 3 runs. And up next is the first baseman, number 20, Reese Redden.
Going to bring up number 20, Reese Redden, first baseman for Johannes.
Wind up in the pitch, and Redden hits it. Fielded by the third baseman, fires it over to first, and Reese is going to make it in time, safely.
Look at third by Guzman. With Redden using the will save at first. Going to bring up number 4, McFadden.
Brings up the third baseman, number 4, Natalie McFadden, with Reese Redden standing on first. The pitch, and McFadden sends a shot to center field. And Reese is going to stand on second. And McFadden on first with a single.
The Hennis runners on first and second brings up number 3.
Brings up number 3, the second baseman, Jolie Frosch. And Reese is going to step off for the second out. So that's 2 outs. And McFadden's going to step off for the third out. As we're going to head to the bottom of the third. Cowgirls with a 21-0 lead. They're going to go full time to baseball now. As we can hear the crowd over there. Benavides batting. And the bottom of the first, score is 1-1 with Tyler Rodriguez on the mound for the Cowboys. Runner on second for Benavides. Rodriguez pitching from the stretch. And the pitch, swing and a miss for a called strike. And Rodriguez catches the corner for strike 2. So no balls, 2 strikes on the batter. And just misses outside. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on the batter for Benavides. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Rodriguez strikes him out. So 2 outs. And Salinas batting for the Eagles. Swing and a miss for strike 1. We're going to go back to picture. Cowgirls with the 21-0 lead. Santos on the mound. The wind-up of the pitch from Santos is outside for ball 1. So batting is number 4, Haley Cervantes. So 2 balls and no strikes. Santos with the pitch. Outside for ball 3. 2-2 on the baseball side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rodriguez on the mound. The pitch. Ball high, full count. And on the softball side, Marissa Santos gets a strike, so 3 balls and 1 strike. Strike 2 brings the count full as she battles back. So Cervantes will walk to first base. Brings up number 16, Mercy Davila for the Lady Eagles with the runner on first. And it calls strike 1. Wide up with the pitch from Santos. Hit and fouled off into the dugout. So no balls and 2 strikes on Davila. And that's going to be strike 3 for the first out. So Cervantes on first for the Lady Eagles, and Stephanie Cavazos at the plate for the Lady Eagles. On the baseball side, at the end of 1 inning, it's tied up at 1 apiece. Cowboys game is in between innings, warming up, tied up at 1 over there as they head to the top of the second.
To Cavazos, who's taking over the circle for Benavides.
And Santos throws a strike. So the count is 1-1 on the softball side. One ball, one strike, one out. Stephanie Cavazos at the plate for the Lady Eagles. Santos in the circle for the Cowgirls. Wind up with a pitch. Hit, fielded by Frosch at second. Underhands it to soft toss to Reese Redden at first for out number 2. And runner advances to third. So 2 outs here. And up next for the Lady Eagles is number 1, Sadie Vieira.
Coming up for Benavides will be number 1, second baseman, Sadie Retta.
And strike 1. As Vieira thought about it and didn't make a complete full swing. She hesitated. So no balls, one strike. And ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner on third for the Lady Eagles. 2 outs. Santos with the pitch. Hit, fielded by Santos. And she's going to toss it over to Reese Redden for the final out. So the Cowgirls have a 21-0 lead. And we're going to go back to the baseball. Cowboys batting. J.J. Garcia leads off with a single for the Cowboys. Brings up number 5, Dante Diaz, up to bat for DeHennis.
Now batting, center fielder number 12, Diaz.
Dante Diaz at the plate for the Cowboys. J.J. Garcia on first with the lead. And they're going to check him as he gets back safely at first. The pitch, the ball high and outside on Diaz. Once we finish the softball game, we're going to go full coverage on baseball. We'll put the scoreboard up and everything. Currently top of the second, 1-1, Cowboys and Eagles. And Garcia's going to try to attempt to steal second, and they're going to get him out as the catcher fires it to second. Garcia's going to get called out. Dante Diaz batting for the Cowboys. Pitch to Diaz. 2 balls and 1 strike on Dante Diaz, the center fielder. And Dante's going to take his base and brings up the first baseman, A.J. Bridges. And the softball side is back ready to go. So softball will be on your left-hand screen. Baseball on your right side. Cowgirls with the 21-0 to start the top of the 4th. Leading off is Jolie Frosch for the Cowgirls. Wind up with a pitch. Frosch hits it. Nice hit down third base line as Jolie makes her way towards second. for a stand-up double. Brings up designated player number 16. Well, actually, he's going to bring the left fielder number 10, Addie Harkins. And Alicia Garcia will come in and run, courtesy run for Frosch at second base. The left fielder, Addie Harkins, now batting for the designated player, Tony Burrow. So Alicia Garcia checks into the ballgame for Jolie Frosch. Addie Harkins at the plate for the Cowgirls.
We have the flex entering for the DP, number 10, Addie Harkins.
Cavazos with the pitch. Harkins sends a shot to center, and Garcia is going to come in and score. And Addie Harkins with the single brings in a run for the Cowgirls. Brings up the right fielder, Kayla Ruiz at the plate. So ball high, so 1 ball, no strikes. And Ruiz fouls it off. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kayla Ruiz. And Leighton Herman on the baseball side brings in 2 runs for the Cowboys. Cowboys with a 3-1 lead in the top of the second over the Eagles. Exciting ball game over there. And Ruiz hits it. Fielded by the shortstop. Play at second. Runner is out for the first out. And Ruiz will be on first safely. Brings up the center fielder, number 8, Peyton Burrow. Ball high. So 2 outs. So runner Ruiz steps off the plate for out number 2. Burrow at the plate for the Cowgirls. And Burrow sends a hard shot down third base, but it's going to go foul. So 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here. Cowgirls with a 21-0 advantage over the Benavides Lady Eagles. Burrow at the plate, the pitch, and it's going to be ball. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. Cowboys currently warming up. Dennis with a 3-1 lead on the baseball side as they head to the bottom of the second. And Burrow's going to get hit by the pitch. And she's going to make her way towards first base. So brings up the catcher, Kayla Looper. with Burrow on first. And Burrow's going to step off the back for out number 3. As we head to the bottom of the 4th, Cowgirls with the 21-0 advantage over the Benavides Lady Eagles. Baseball with Tyler Rodriguez on the mound. Ethan Reyes behind the plate. Thomas Beard at third. Ryan Henry at shortstop, second base. Eusebio Tapia first base. AJ Bridges. And from left to right, Luke Langfield, Dante Diaz, and Leighton Herman in the outfield. Dennis with the 3-1 lead.
Ruben Peña.
So 2 balls and no strikes. Tyler Rodriguez on the mound for the Cowboys. Dennis with a 3-1 lead. Tyler with the pitch. And strike 1. So 2 balls and 1 strike on the batter. Rodriguez with the pitch. Swung on and fouled off. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bottom of the 2nd. Swing and a miss for strike 3, so strikeout for Tyler Rodriguez, and the first out for the Cowboys. We're going to go back picture in picture. Cowgirls back on the field, 22-0 lead. One ball, 1 strike on Giovanna Guzman for the Lady Eagles. And foul out of play as it goes into the baseball field. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on Guzman. Santos with the windup in the pitch, and foul tip and caught for the out. So good catch by Kayla Looper. Windup in the pitch for Santos is called strike down the middle. So it brings up number 16, Mercy Davila. Excuse me, number 15, Dana Marquez. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Wind up in the pitch and fouled off. Count is no balls, 2 strikes.
Number 21, Oscar Villa.
Wind up in the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, so out number 2. Another strikeout for Santos. Brings up number 6, Allison Vasquez for the Lady Eagles. Cowgirls with a 22-0 lead here. The bottom of the 4th. This is game 1 of the best of 3 series. Game 2 coming tomorrow at 11 a.m. Also here at 3 Rivers. Squares around and bunts. Fielded by Looper. Fires it over to first and overthrown as it heads into right field. And Vieira gonna make her towards third, and the tag, and she's gonna be called out at third. And the umpire's having a discussion. And they're going to call time and talk about it. Umpires have a discussion. I guess they made up their mind, and Vasquez with the bunt reaches third base on the overthrow to first as the ball made its way towards right field. And initially the call was out at third, but after discussion, the umpires say she's safe. So the Cowgirls will return onto the field with 2 outs. With Vasquez standing on third. And it's going to bring up number 8, Kristen Garza.
Number 8, Kristen Garza, the catcher.
Garza shows bunt. Looper with the good stops for ball 1.
That's Garza. The runner on third.
In the dirt. Looper fires it over and hurts the runner. Hits the runner right in the back on her number. What a shot. But she's safe. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Nice throw by Kayla Looper. As Kristen Garza at the plate for the Lady Eagles. Santos in the circle for the Cowgirls. Wind up the pitch outside for ball 2.
Shortstop Hendry.
Count's going to go 2-1 to Garza with 2 outs. Runner on third.
Santos with the pitch. Called strike. Looper fires it over to third, and runner safe at third. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Cowgirls with a 22-0 lead.
2-2 count.
Wind up with a pitch. Low and inside, and Looper fakes it this time. Count is now full.
2-1 to count on Hendry.
Wind up with a pitch. Called strike 3.
Santos with the strikeout for the third out.
So the Hennis with a 22-0 lead. We're going to go full baseball. On the baseball side, bottom of the 3rd, Cowboys with a 3-1 lead as Ryan Henry's at the plate for the Hennis. Wind up in the pitch. Ball high, ball 4. So Henry's going to take his base and brings up the number 3, Eusebio Tapia, up to bat next for the Hennis.
Now batting number 3, Tapia.
Nice hard win here. Henry with the good lead on first. Takes a step back. Ball high on Tapia. So 1 ball, no strikes on Eusebio Tapia. Ryan Henry at first for the Cowboys. The Hennis with a 3-1 lead here. And the top of the 3rd. The pitch. Tapia swings and fouls it out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike on Eusebio Tapia.
One to count on Tapia.
Up for the Hayes. Catcher. Number 5, Looper.
Leading off for the Cowgirls will be the catcher, number 5, Kayla Looper. Looper sends a nice hard hit, but the wind's going to push it foul.
Out of play, foul ball.
So no balls, and that was a long strike. And ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike on Looper.
1-1 for Looper.
And Looper hits it, and it's going to land in fair as she makes her way towards second base down right field line, right over the head of the first baseman.
Looper with a double.
So Looper on second.
Going to bring up number 2, Mabry Herman.
Brings up number 2, Mabry Herman. Wind up in the pitch. Ball 1. And Herman sends a shot down third base, but they're going to call it foul. So the count is now 1 ball, 1 strike on Mabry Herman. Wind up with a pitch, and it's going to be ball high. Brings the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch, ball 3. 3-1 on Herman.
3-1 on Herman.
Looper standing on second for the Cowgirls. Wind up in the pitch. Herman sends a shot to the shortstop, and it's off her glove for an error. So Coach Martinez is going to hold up Looper at third and Herman at first. So runners on the corner for the Cowgirls.
Going to bring up number 13.
So batting now for the Cowgirls is number 13, Brighton Beard. The pitch to Beard is low and inside for ball 1.
To the Beard. Runners on the corner.
The pitch. And no call, so it's 2 balls, no strikes on Brighton Beard. Runners on the corners. Kayla Looper on third. Mabry Herman on first. And Brighton Beard at the plate for the Cowgirls. The pitch, ball high, so 3-0 on Beard. Wind up in the pitch, strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike on Brighton Beard. Kayla Looper standing on third. Mabry Herman on first. And Beard at the plate for the Cowgirls. With Stephanie Cavazos in the circle for the Lady Eagles. The pitch. And the ball's going to hit Beard, so she's going to take her bases and load him up once again. And it's going to bring up the first baseman, number 20, Reese Redden. Actually, we're going to have a pinch hitter, number 15, Madison Rodriguez, for the Cowgirls. And on the baseball side, Cowboys still in the top of the third with a 3-1 lead over Benavides with runners on first and second and A.J. Bridges at the plate. Madison Rodriguez at the plate. The pitch. Catches the corner for strike one.
Rodriguez with bases loaded.
Some controversy on the baseball side. Bases loaded for the Cowgirls. Matty Rod at the plate. The swing and hits it right up the middle. It's going to bring in Looper to score. Herman's going to come in and score. Brighton Beer making her way towards third. She's going to stand up safely as Matty Rodriguez brings in 2 runs for the Cowgirls.
Going to bring up number 4, your third baseman, McFadden.
So Natalie McFadden up to bat once again. For the Cowgirls. And Rodriguez going to step off. And Beer's going to step off. So it's going to be 2 outs. The pitch to McFadden is a ball 1. So both runners step off the base. It's an automatic out, so 2 outs for the Cowgirls now. McFadden. The pitch. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes.
2-0 to McFadden.
Wind up with a pitch. McFadden fouls it off. Brings the count to 2 balls and 1 strike.
Foul ball will go 2-1 with 2 outs. McFadden.
And wind up with a pitch. McFadden. It's ball 0. 3 balls and 1 strike on Natalie McFadden, the senior third baseman.
3-1, 2 outs.
McFadden hits it to center field, and the ball is dropped. And McFadden's going to make her way halfway towards second, and now go back to first. Up next to bat for the Cowgirls is number 1, Alicia Garcia. Ball high. Cowboys and Benavides, top of the third. Cowboys with a 3-1 lead over Benavides. Two balls and no strikes on Alicia Garcia. Swing and a miss for strike 1.
The count on Linfield.
Three balls and 1 strike on Alicia Garcia. McFadden on first. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. McFadden on first, 2 outs. Cowgirls with a 24-0 advantage over the Benavides Lady Eagles. This is game 1 of the best of 3 series. Gonna wind up in the pitch. Ball 4. So runners on first and second. And it's gonna bring up pinch hitting number 22, Tori Johnson, for the Cowgirls. So Tori Johnson at the plate for the Cowgirls. Natalie McFadden on second. Alicia Garcia on first. The pitch and swing and a miss for strike one on Tori Johnson. The pitch and Johnson hits it. Fielded by the second baseman. And there's going to be a... Oh, Garcia's going to be safe at second as the shortstop bobbled the ball and dropped it. So the bases are loaded as Tori Johnson reaches on the fielder's choice. Brings up the right fielder, number 27, Kayler Luis, with the bases loaded, and McFadden's going to step off to end the inning. So we're going to go full screen baseball as Leighton Herman is at the plate for the Cowboys. AJ Bridges standing on second. And Langfield on first. Cowboys with a 4-1 advantage in the third inning. So full count on Leighton Herman. And they try to pick off Bridges at second, and he gets back safely. The pitch to Herman. Outside. So J.J. Garcia comes in to score, and it makes the score now 5-1 Cowboys with the bases loaded. Bridges on third, Langfield on second, Herman on first. Brings up the catcher, number 14, Ethan Reyes.
Now back up number 14, Reyes.
Coming in the circle for Benavides.
The pitch to Reyes, swing and a miss, or foul. So no balls and one strike on Reyes.
At first, it looks like we don't have any Rodriguez.
Some changes on the softball side. Kayla Looper comes in to pitch for Marissa Santos. Santos moves over to shortstop. And behind the plate now is Mabry Herman. Alicia Garcia is at second base. Maddie Rodriguez at first base. And in the outfield, in left field, is Tori Johnson, Peyton Burrow, and Kayler Luis in right. So no balls, two strikes. The windup in the pitch from Looper, high and outside for ball one. Swing and a miss for strike three. And the first out. Once again, this is game one of the best of three series. Game two tomorrow at 11 a.m. And called strike. And on the baseball side, the Cowboys lead 7-1. As Ethan Reyes stands on first base with Thomas Beard coming up to the plate with two outs. And on the softball side, it's 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Kayla Looper on the mound. And Haley Cervantes at the plate for the Lady Eagles. Swing and miss for strike 3 and 2 outs. Brings up number 16, Mercy Davila, up for the Lady Eagles. Strike 1.
First pitch. Strike by Mercy Davila, the DP.
Swing and a miss for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes on Davila.
Go 0-2.
Looper on the mound for the Cowgirls. And that
Looper with a strikeout.
that's going to be the ball game as your D'Hanis Cowgirls win 25-0 over the Lady Eagles. So game 2 tomorrow at 11 a.m. here on D'Hanis Athletics. So we're going to go full-time, full-screen baseball. And I'm going to edit the scoreboard as the Cowboys have a 7-1 lead with 2 outs with a runner on second. Pitch to Beard. It's a called strike. So 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. The pitch to Beard. Beard hits it, chops it to the third baseman, fields it, fires it over to first, and gonna get him in time. As we head to the bottom of the third, D'Hanis Cowboys with the 7-1 lead over Benavides. You're watching D'Hanis Cowboy baseball now. We'll be right back.
Do you know what time it is? I said, do you know what time it is? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for some D'Hanis Cowboys baseball. The playoffs start now. Yeah!
And we're back for some baseball action. First pitch from Tyler Rodriguez for strike 1. The wind up with the pitch from Rodriguez, swing and a miss for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Tyler Rodriguez on the mound for the Cowboys. The wind up in the pitch. Strike 3 in the first out. The D'Hanis Cowgirls win 24-0 over the Benavides Eagles and lead 1-0 in the best of 3 series. And now we're here, game 1 for the baseball. Cowboys versus Eagles. Ball 1. Ball in the dirt for 2 balls, no strikes. Rodriguez with the windup in the pitch. Batter squares around and fakes bunt. So 3 balls and 1 strike. As all the fans make their way towards the baseball side of the complex, The pitch from Rodriguez, swing and a miss. And the second strikeout for Tyler Rodriguez here in this inning. So Edward Hernandez, the batter now for the Eagles. The pitch from Rodriguez, high and inside for ball one. One ball, one strike on the batter. Ball two. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch is hit, foul, out of play. Brings the count to 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch from Rodriguez. Swing and a miss for strike 3. As we head to the top of the 4th, the Hennis Cowboys with the 7-1 lead. You're watching the Hennis Cowboy Baseball. We'll be right back.
You're watching live coverage on the D'Hanis Athletics page, home of the Cowboys and Cowgirls. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for the most up-to-date and late-breaking information. And go Cowboys and Cowgirls! You're watching live coverage on the D'Hanis Athletics page, home of the Cowboys and Cowgirls. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for the most up-to-date and late-breaking information. And go Cowboys and Cowgirls!
And we're back here live from Three Rivers High School. As we head to the top of the 4th, Cowboys with the 7-1 advantage over the Benavides Eagles. This is game 1 of the best of 3 series. All games here live at Three Rivers High School. The Hennis Cowgirls just defeated the Lady Eagles 24-0 and lead the series 1-0. And they'll be back in action tomorrow at 11 a.m., followed by the boys at noon. Once again, we'll be here live on the Hennis Athletics. You can also watch on YouTube. Leading off for the Cowboys, number 4, Ryan Henry. Wind up and the pitch. Henry swings and fouls it off. So no balls and 1 strike on Henry. And the pitch, hit by Henry, and he's going to try to stretch it out to second. He's going to slide in safely. So Ryan Henry stretches out and makes it to second base. And thank you to Paula Henry, who let me know I need to change this the score to Cowboys. Apologize. I was doing a picture-in-picture. No, we're all set now. Tapia, ball in the dirt. as Ryan Henry stands on second base. So 1 ball, no strikes on Eusebio Tapia. Pitching from the stretch. The pitch. Tapia hits the ball opposite field down the line, but the wind blows it foul. So Henry will go back to second base, and Tapia back to the plate with the count of 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Eusebio Tapia. Cowboys with a 7-1 lead here. The pitch, Tapia fouls it off again. Brings the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ryan Henry standing on second. The pitch, Tapia hits it, fielded by the first baseman, tags the bag for the out, and Ryan Henry advances to third base. Brings up the second baseman, number 5, J.J. Garcia. Henry on third. Garcia at the plate. The pitch. Ball outside. Once again, this is game 1 of the regional quarterfinal for the Cowboys and Eagles. The pitch to Garcia. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes on J.J. Garcia. The pitch in the dirt. 3 balls, no strikes on Garcia. Ryan Henry on third. Garcia at the plate with the 3-0 count. The pitch to Garcia. It's going to be ball 4. So runners on the corners for the Cowboys. Garcia on first. Ryan Henry on third. And brings up the center fielder, number 12, Dante Diaz. And runner checks Garcia out first. Tries to do a trick play. Doesn't work. The pitch for a called strike. So no balls and 1 strike on Diaz. Runners on the corners for the Cowboys. And Diaz fouls it off. Brings the count to 1 ball. Excuse me. No balls and 2 strikes. So 1 out here. Diaz at the plate for the Cowboys. Garcia on first, Henry on third. And check Garcia at first. Scoreboard has 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The pitch to Diaz. Garcia takes off. Diaz hits it. And it's going to go foul. So the count is now 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch in the dirt. So 2 balls, 2 strikes on Diaz. The pitch, Diaz swings and hits. And beautiful catch by the center fielder as Ryan Henry will come in as he tags up. And the Cowboys add another run. 8-1 lead for D'Hanis. So A.J. Bridges at the plate for the Cowboys. J.J. Garcia on first for D'Hanis. The pitch to Bridges. 1 ball, no strikes. And they try to pick off Garcia at first, but he gets back safely. So the count is 1 ball, 1 strike on A.J. Bridges with 2 outs. The pitch, Bridges swings, hits, and great catch by the shortstop for the 3rd out as we head to the bottom of the 4th. D'Hanis with an 8-1 lead over the Benavides Eagles. You're watching D'Hanis Cowboy Baseball. We'll be right back.
Do you know what time it is? I said, do you know what time it is? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for some D'Hanis Cowboys baseball. The playoffs start now. Yeah!
You're watching live coverage on the D'Hanis Athletics page, home of the Cowboys and Cowgirls. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for the most up-to-date and late-breaking information. And go Cowboys and Cowgirls! You're watching live coverage on the D'Hanis Athletics page, home of the Cowboys and Cowgirls. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for the most up-to-date and late-breaking information. And go Cowboys and Cowgirls!
We're back here live from Three Rivers High School. D'Hanis with an 8-1 advantage in the bottom of the 4th. Setting the defense for the Cowboys, Tyler Rodriguez on the mound, Ethan Reyes behind the plate. Thomas Beard at 3rd, Ryan Henry at shortstop. Eusebio Tapia at 2nd, A.J. Bridges at 1st. And in the outfield from left to right, Luke Langfield, Dante Diaz, and Leighton Herman. First pitch, Rodriguez, is a ball high. Nice little breaking ball by Rodriguez. Brings the count to 1-1. Swing and foul out of play into the softball field. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on the batter. Wind up and the pitch from Rodriguez. Swing and caught by Reyes for the strikeout as they throw it around. So 1 out. Rodriguez with the wind up and the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. on the dirt and inside. So 1-1 on the batter. And strike two. As Tyler Rodriguez appears to find his pitching groove. The windup and the pitch. Swing and miss for strike three. Cowboys will throw it around once again for the second out of the inning. So 2 up, 2 down with Tyler Rodriguez striking out the first batter and the second. So 2 outs here. Cowboys with an 8-1 lead. No balls and 1 strike. Rodriguez with the pitch. Batter showed bunt. Brings the count to 1-1. Ball is laid down for a bunt. Rodriguez fields it, fires it over to first, and Bridges makes the catch for the third out. So we head to the top of the fifth. Cowboys with an 8-1 lead. You're watching Dennis Cowboy Baseball. We'll be right back. And we're back here live from Three Rivers High School. This is game 1 of the best of 3. The Dennis Cowboys versus Benavides Eagles in the regional quarterfinal. Cowboys with an 8-1 lead here as we go to the top of the 5th. In softball action, you just saw the Dennis Cowgirls win game 1 24-0 over the Lady Eagles. Game 2 will be tomorrow at 11 a.m., followed by game 2 of the Cowboys at noon. We will do our best once again to bring you picture-in-picture live action here on the Dennis Athletics on Facebook, and you can also watch on YouTube. We'd like to thank Three Rivers Independent School District, Benavides Independent School District, and the Dennis Independent School District for allowing us to bring you the game live here from Three Rivers High School. We'd like to welcome everyone watching in Medina County and from across the globe as we are here worldwide. Winner of the boys game will advance to the next round, face the winner of Runge and Canepa. I believe Canepa leads that series 1-0. As we are here in the regional quarterfinals, Dennis versus Benavides, game 1 of the best of 3. Leading off for the Cowboys will be the left fielder, number 28, Luke Langfield.
Up to bat number 28, Langfield.
The pitch to Langfield, strike 1.
Pitching for the Eagles, number 8, Ruben Pena.
The pitch outside, 1 ball, 1 strike on Langfield. Ball outside, 2-1, 2 balls and 1 strike. balls and 1 strike on the left fielder, junior, Luke Langfield. The pitch, ball high. Well, actually, he's going to call it a strike. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on Langfield. So ball in the dirt brings the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ball 4, so Langfield's going to take his base. So Luke Langfield standing on first for the Cowboys. Brings up the right fielder, number 22, Leighton Herman. With Luke Langfield on first base with a good lead. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Herman sends a shot up the middle, fielded by the pitcher. Throws it over to first, and they're going to get Herman out at first in time as Langfield advances to second. So 1 out here. Brings up the catcher, number 14, Ethan Reyes. Coach checking on the pitcher, make sure he's okay because the ball went up the middle. So Ethan Reyes at the plate for the Cowboys with Luke Langfield standing on second. The pitch, ball 1. Pitch to Reyes. Reyes swings, pops it up, and the right fielder looks like he's right under it. And he loses it as the wind misdirected it. As Langfield advances to third base, and Ethan Reyes will stand on first. Runners on the corners for the Cowboys. Brings up the third baseman, number 13, Thomas Beard. Courtesy running for Ethan Reyes is Rain Redden at first base. Runners on the corners. The pitch to Beard. Beard fouls it out of play. So no balls and 1 strike. The pitch, Beard chops it. Fielded by the second baseman. And they try to turn 2 as they get the force out at second. And Langfield comes in to score. So an RBI for Thomas Beard. Brings up the shortstop, number 4, Ryan Henry. Was Thomas Beard on first for the Cowboys. Two outs. Beard with the lead at first. The pitch to Henry. Ball high. 1 ball, no strikes. Henry swings and pops it up, and the shortstop is right under the ball and makes the catch for out number 3. As we head to the bottom of the fifth, Cowboys with the 9-1 lead over the Eagles. You're watching Dennis Cowboy Baseball. We'll be right back. We're back here live from Three Rivers High School. Cowboys with a 9-1 lead as we head to the bottom of the fifth with Tyler Rodriguez on the mound for the Cowboys. Tyler with his first pitch is high and inside for ball one. So Ruben Pena at the plate for the Eagles. Rodriguez with the pitch outside, so 2 balls and no strikes on the batter. Swing and a miss, strike one. 2 balls and 1 strike. And just outside, so 3-1. The count on Pena. Swing and a miss, strike 2 brings the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Pena. Rodriguez on the mound for the Cowboys. The pitch, swing and a miss. And another strikeout for Tyler Rodriguez as the Cowboys throw it around once more. So brings up number 7, Josh Garcia for the Eagles. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Oh, nice breaking ball by Rodriguez for strike 2. Swing and a miss for strike 3 as Reyes makes the tag. So that's out number 2 for the Cowboys here. So brings up number 21, Oscar Vida for the Eagles. Rodriguez sends the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. And hit, fielded by Tyler. And Tyler's going to fire it over to first to Bridges for out number 3. So we head to the top of the 6th. Cowboys with a 9-win advantage over the Eagles. You're watching Dennis Cowboy Baseball. We'll be right back.
Do you know what time it is? I said, do you know what time it is? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for some Dennis Cowboys baseball. The playoffs start now. Yeah!
And we're back here live from Three Rivers High School. Cowboys with the 9-1 advantage over the Benavides Eagles. This is game 1 of the regional quarterfinal. Winner of this series will face the winner of Canepa and Runge. This is game 1 once again of the best of 3 series. Game 2 tomorrow at noon following the Cowgirls game. Cowgirls will start at 11 a.m. for game 2. And if necessary for both teams, both games, game 3 will follow game 2, approximately 30 minutes after game 2. I'd like to welcome everyone watching on Facebook, Dehennis Athletics. You can also watch on YouTube as the Cowboys have a 9-1 advantage here. Top of the 6th. Game 1 here at Three Rivers High School. Leading off the inning for the Cowboys will be number 3, Eusebio Tapia. Good crowd out here from Benavides and Dehennis. Both sides with a great turnout. The pitch to Tapia is high, so ball 1. Tapia hits it, fielded by the third baseman, fires it over to first, and the out. So out number 1. Brings up number 5, J.J. Garcia for the Cowboys. The pitch, low. So 1 ball, no strikes on Garcia. Outside, so 2 balls and no strikes on J.J. Garcia. And a beautiful breaking ball for called strike 1. So 2 balls and 1 strike on J.J. Garcia. With 1 out here. Ball high, 3-1. The count on Garcia. The pitch, Garcia hits it, pops it up, and it looks like the center fielder is going to make a great attempt and a great catch for out number 2. So brings up the center fielder, number 5, Dante Diaz. And the pitch is popped up and out of play. So no balls and 1 strike on Diaz. The pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Well, actually, he's going to call it a strike, so no balls and 2 strikes on Dante Diaz. So 2 balls and 1 strike on Diaz. And umpire's going to call time. Have a little conversation with the pitcher. Not sure what they're talking about. So 9-1 lead here for the Cowboys. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Diaz. 2 outs. The pitch. Diaz hits it, and it's going to go foul. Count remains 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch to Diaz. Dante fouls it back. Count remains 1-2. Dante Diaz battling here. Fouling balls off. And it catches the corner for strike 3. So headed to the bottom of the 6th, Cowboys with the 9-1 lead. You're watching Dennis Cowboy Baseball.
Now batting number 4, Matthew Cadena.
So Matthew Cadena leading off for the Eagles here. Tyler Rodriguez on the mound for the Cowboys. The windup and the pitch. Ball high. So he's going to take his base. Runner on first for the Eagles.
Now batting number 1, Damian Guerra.
So Damian Vera batting for the Eagles. And Tyler checks the runner. He's back in time safely.
No, I'm just.
The pitch, ball high. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Count is 1-1. 1-1, no outs. Runner on first. Rodriguez with the pitch in the. Whoa, just a little bit low. Just missed. So 2 balls and 1 strike on the batter. Count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Swing and a miss for strike 2. So it's a full count. So full count on Guerra. The runner on first. Rodriguez with the pitch and misses outside. So runners on first and second for the Eagles. And head coach Todd Kraft's going to come out, have a conversation with his infield. Once again, this is game 1 of the best of 3 series. Game 2 tomorrow at noon. And if necessary, game 3, 30 minutes after game 2. This is the regional quarterfinal. Cowboys versus Eagles. Hennis with a 9-1 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. So Tyler Rodriguez on the mound, Ethan Reyes behind the plate, Thomas Beard at third, Ryan Henry at shortstop, Eusebio Tapia at second, AJ Bridges at first. And in the outfield from left to right, Luke Langfield, Dante Diaz, and Leighton Herman. The pitch from Rodriguez, hit, and down the line, third base. As a run's going to come in to score for the Eagles. So runners on first and third for Benavides with no outs here. So Andres Hinojosa up to bat for the Eagles. Runners on the corners, no outs. The pitch, beautiful breaking ball for strike one. Ball high, and Reyes fires it over to third. Runner's safe, so runners on second and third now. Count is now 1 ball, 1 strike. And time is called. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cowboys with a 9-2 lead here. Rodriguez with the pitch. And fouled out of play. So 1 ball and 2 strikes.
1-2 the count on Hinojosa.
The pitch from Rodriguez, swing and a miss for strike 3. And out number 1. So runners on second and third, 1 out. Brings up number 11, RJ Salinas. Rodriguez with the pitch, and the breaking ball is a ball 1. Rodriguez working fast on the mound. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 9-2 lead for the Cowboys. The pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Salinas.
And a call, strike 3 as it catches the corner inside. So out number 2 as Tyler Rodriguez. Back-to-back strikeouts.
Number 3, Sergio Benavides.
So up next for the Eagles is number 3, Sergio Benavente. Ball 1. Swing and a miss for strike one. So 1 ball, 1 strike on the batter
1-1 the count.
with 2 outs.
Pepe.
And the ball is hit and fouled out of play. Brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Rodriguez on the mound. The wind up and the pitch. Ball high, and the runner tried to steal home, and he gets tagged by Reyes for out number 3. So we head to the top of the 7th. You're watching Dennis Cowboy Baseball. Cowboys lead 9-2 in Game 1 of this best-of-3 series. Live here from Three Rivers High School. Game number 2 set for tomorrow at noon. As we head to the top of the 7th, your Dennis Cowboys with the 9-2 lead over the Benavides Eagles in Game 1 of the best-of-3 series. Live here from Three Rivers High School. And we're back to play here. Leading off for the Cowboys will be the first baseman, number 20, A.J. Bridges. And on deck will be left fielder Luke Langfield.
Number 20, Bridges.
First pitch is a called strike. And swing and fouled off. So no balls and 2 strikes on the first baseman, A.J. Bridges. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Bridges. The pitch in the dirt for ball 2.
2-2 the count on Bridges.
And Bridges fouls it off, so the count remains 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes on Bridges. The pitch. Bridges fouls it off once again. And Bridges sends a shot up the middle to center field for a single. So A.J. Bridges leads the inning off with a single up the middle. Brings up the left fielder, number 28, Luke Langfield. And courtesy for the Cowboys, courtesy runner for the Cowboys is White Rivera for A.J. Bridges at first. The pitch is a ball high on Langfield. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Luke Langfield. With White Rivera on first. The pitch, Langfield hits it. Fielded by the first baseman, makes the throw to second for the first out, but it's going to go underneath us. The second baseman. So error, and Langfield will reach on the fielder's choice. So runners on first and second for the Cowboys. Brings up the right fielder, number 22, Leighton Herman.
Now batting number 22, Herman.
White Rivera on second, Langfield on first. Herman at the plate. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Ball outside. Brings the count to 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Rivera on second, Langfield on first. Both with good leads. And they're going to check Rivera at second. He's going to get back in time safely. And again, they try to do that trick play, but doesn't work. So 1 ball, 1 strike on Leighton Herman. The pitch in the dirt for ball 2. Two balls and 1 strike on Herman with runners on first and second and no outs. The pitch called strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Herman. Runners on first and second. Rivera on second, Langfield on first. The pitch. Land. Herman hit to the second baseman. They get the force out at second as Herman reaches safely at first on the fielder's choice. So runners on first and third for the Cowboys. Brings up the catcher, number 14, Ethan Reyes, to the plate.
Number 14, Reyes.
With Rivera on third. Herman makes his way towards second. It's gonna stand up safely. So Rivera remains on third. Herman now on second. And one ball and no strikes on Reyes. The pitch, Reyes sends a shot in the gap. He's gonna bring in Rivera. Herman's gonna come in and score. And Reyes is going to make his way towards second for an RBI double. So Cowboys extend their lead to 11-2. With the third baseman, number 13, Thomas Beard, coming up next. As Rain Redden checks into the ballgame to courtesy run for Reyes at second base.
Now batting number 13, Beard.
So Thomas Beard at the plate for the Cowboys. The pitch, and Beard pops it up in the infield. First baseman makes the call and makes the catch. So 2 outs here. And brings up the shortstop, number 4, Ryan Henry.
Batting for the Cowboys, number 4, Hendry.
And a call it strike 1 on Henry. Henry swings and pops it up in the infield. And the third baseman makes the catch. As we head to the bottom of the 7th, Cowboys extend their lead and add a couple of runs and now lead 11-2 over the Benavides Eagles in Game 1 of the Best of 3 series. Game 2 set for tomorrow at noon. Tyler Rodriguez on the mound for the Cowboys.
Number 3, Sergio Benavente.
And Sergio Benavente, number 3, leading off for the Eagles. Rodriguez with a beautiful pitch down the middle for strike 1. And fouled off. So no balls and 2 strikes on the batter. And high. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. pitch from Rodriguez. A beautiful breaking ball for called strike 3. And out number 1.
Out number 1 for the Cowboys. Now batting
Brings up number 8, Ruben Benya for the Eagles. Rodriguez with the pitch, and they're going to check to see if he went. Umpire says he didn't go, so ball 1. The pitch from Rodriguez, swing and a miss, strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. As the wind picks up once again here in Three Rivers. The pitch inside, so 2 balls and 1 strike on the batter. Outside, 3-1.
3-1 the count.
The pitch from Rodriguez is nice inside as it catches the corner, so the count comes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes on the batter. Rodriguez with the windup and the pitch. Fouled off, so count remains full. Rodriguez with the pitch outside, so runner will be on first.
Now batting for the Eagles, number 10, Daniel Elizondo.
Batting for the Eagles, Daniel Elizondo, number 10, with a runner on first and 1 out. Tyler Rodriguez on the mound for the Cowboys, pitching from the stretch. The pitch, ball high, 1-0. Tyler checks his runner back in time. So the count remains 1 ball, no strike on the batter. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch called strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike on the batter. Runner on first with 1 out here. And strike 2. Tyler fights back and brings the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rodriguez with a pitch. High and inside, brings the count full.
Brings the count full for Elizondo.
3 balls and 2 strikes on Elizondo. Rodriguez, the pitch. And it was a beautiful pitch, but the umpire doesn't give him the call. So runners now in first and second with the back-to-back walks from Rodriguez.
Back for the Eagles, number 21, Oscar Villa.
Runners on first and second. Ball high. Ball high. Once again, so 2 balls and no strikes on the batter. Breaking ball, strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike on the batter with 1 out here. Breaking ball by Rodriguez. Swing and a miss. First strike, 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the 7th, 1 out. Cowboys with the 11-2 lead here. The pitch from Rodriguez. Called strike 3 down the middle for out number 2.
Strike 3, out number 2 for the Cowboys.
So head coach Todd Kraft goes out there and congratulates Tyler Rodriguez on a great game, as it appears that they're going to bring in a reliever. So moving from shortstop to pitcher will be number 4, Ryan Henry, coming in relief for Tyler Rodriguez, who pitched an excellent game. And coming in to play shortstop is Rain Redden. So with 2 outs here, in the bottom of the 7th, Cowboys an 11-2 advantage. Game 1 of this best-of-3 series. Game 2 tomorrow at noon. All games here live at Three Rivers High School. Ryan Henry getting those warm-up pitches.
On the mound for the Cowboys, number 4, Hendry.
So Ryan Henry on the mound now for the Cowboys. With runners on first and second and 2 outs. First pitch is a called strike 1.
Batting for the Eagles, number 4, Matthew Calena.
Just outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on the batter. The pitch from Henry. Swung on and sent to right field. Herman makes the stop and fires it into Henry. So the bases are now loaded for the Eagles.
Now batting, number 1, Damian Vieira.
So brings up number 1, Damian Vieira, with 2 outs here. Bases loaded for the Eagles. Ryan Henry on the mound for the Cowboys. Outside, ball gets by the catcher, Reyes. Play at the plate, and the tag, and they're going to call him out as Ryan Henry applies the tag. And that's going to be the ball game as your D'Hanis Cowboys win Game 1 over the Benavides Eagles, 11-2. Game 2 set for tomorrow. So until then, good night and God bless.